What is up, guys? We are back in another video, and today we have a video about some of the important counters for Daredevil. So if you're looking to counter Daredevil, or if you're playing Daredevil and you want to be known and be aware of what your counters are, it's very important because all the time I go into games, and because it's still the early phases of this hero, I'll use my deflect on someone where I think I'll be fine, and I'll be caught off guard and I'll just die. And it's important. That's why I did a little bit of limit testing here on abilities. Ultimates will be a different video, so we have an idea of all the different things it covers, so we know not to get caught off guard, because again, it's still early. There's a lot of things we don't know. The deflect isn't universal. It's not like Iron Fist where it just deflects everything on an absolute level. Some things work, some things don't, and because some things don't, it's important to know what doesn't, because if you don't know what doesn't and then you go into a game popping your deflect on a dive thinking you'll be safe, you'll die. And I've been caught off guard when I went to a game with the Mantis. I was facing a Mantis and I didn't understand how she was sleeping me. I thought I was deflecting properly, but I was still slept. And so I'm going to cover that in this video here. Anyways, let's get into the first set of heroes. So first off, we're going to look at the Mantis sleep, because this is very important. Now, if you're diving a Mantis and you're going to use your deflect, there's something really important to watch out for is the angle. A good Mantis will know that it's only from the front, and so she will land it on the ground behind you, like that, and you'll be put to sleep. Now, if you're pairing the Mantis and you're up close, she has no way of doing it. From this angle, she cannot get it behind you in any way. Maybe with like a really like that, but it's a really fine angle. In general, if you deflect in her face, she won't be able to land to sleep and she'll be put back to sleep. But it's important you're aware of the angle, because if you're diving a Mantis, but there's a DPS, let's say right over here, and you turn yourself to deflect the DPS, well, now the Mantis over here has a good angle on you, and she'll land asleep. And landing asleep on a Daredevil is very fatal, because now your deflect's gone. And because your deflect's gone, they'll headshot you, and you'll maybe even die on your grapple getting out. So it's very important to know that about the Mantis. So now let's look at Bucky. Bucky is also not a strong counter, like a pretty soft counter for Daredevil, because if you're going for a dive, a Bucky can peel you really well. First off is the grab. Everyone's aware of it. Again, you want to make sure that you're positioned to where you can deflect the grab, because again, it's obviously he can get you from behind. And if you do get caught, Daredevil, if you get caught in a grab, you will just die. Because if you're parrying from the front and you get caught into a grab, he will combo you. Right there. He will combo you into this, and then you will just die. Because, again, you cannot parry his punch at all. You'll get earthbounded right away. So if I come from the front, you cannot parry any of that. You will just straight up die. Like, completely just die. So, again, if you're diving and there's a Bucky behind you, and he lands the full grab into the hook, you will literally just die. So you have to be aware of the Bucky. Okay, he's from a distance. I'm going to use my deflect. I'll stop the grapple. But he's looking at me. He's getting close. I got to get out. Because you're pretty... Daredevil's the hero that is he's really susceptible to mistakes and being caught off guard. If you're playing like a Psylocke, you have your distance. You're keeping your distance. If you're playing a BP, you're really fast, you're hard to touch. If you're playing Iron Fist, when he lands the Earthbound, you can use your flurry punches and still fly out. Daredevil, you have your parry and your grapple, that's it. And your grapple's a bit slow, so you can be killed while doing it in that little period of Earthbound. And a thing is, for Iron Fist as well, you're tankier when you have your flurry punches up, because with your flurry punches, you'll have more overheal plus the 30% damage reduction. So again, when you're going for a dive, you need to be extremely aware of the Bucky and where he's going to hook you from. If you manage to successfully block the hook from the front, then keep an eye on his distance. If he's over here and you have good health, you could probably keep diving the healers until he gets close. Even if you have 400 health, still be cautious of what's around you, because if he does land this, it's going to be a really big threat to you, especially if the whole team turns to peel. So next, we're going to look at Black Widow and then Wolverine. So Black Widow is a bit of a tricky one, because when she uses her kick, if she uses the kick on you like that, she won't get her Widow's Bite, the thing that allows her to like stun you after. But if she uses her kick on someone else, let's say there's someone else standing there, all right? Just for the sake of practice, right? There's someone else standing there. Okay. There's someone else standing there and she lands on them. Well, now she has a 5-second window to use her thing. She can wait until your actual deflect is done and pull you as you're trying to grapple away. I've had this happen to me in Iron Fist, where a really good Widow tries to hold it until I kick out, and then uses the grapple and pulls me, uses the Widow's Bite and pulls me back in. And that's extremely important, because let's say the Widow actually lands the kick on you in general. Like, she lands the kick, and you go for your grapple right now, and she pulls you back. you're gonna die. You're completely dead. Like, you're just dead. And so you have to be aware of that on the Widow, is she could kick someone else to get the Widow's bite and then pull you back in. Or if she does land the kick on you, and you're gonna try to parry out right after. Like, let's say she lands the kick, and you're like, I'm low, I don't have my parry, I'm gonna grapple out right away. Just know that she can pull you back with the Widow's bite. So maybe if you do have your parry, instead of just grappling out, assuming you have your parry and you get stunned, instead use the parry first, and then grapple out. That way she can't Widow's bite and pull you on your grapple. Now, as for Wolverine, if you see a Wolverine right in front of you and you think he's going to grab you, unfortunately, your grapple will not save you. I'm sorry, your parry will not save you at all. It will not save you at all. Now, his basic melees, yeah, you can reflect it, but it doesn't really matter because he'll just grab you. And once he grabs you, you're going to be put in a really bad situation. So again, beware. If a Wolverine is in front of you and you think he's going to grab you, your parry will not work. It will not protect you. So next, we're going to look at Phoenix, Luna, and Black Panther. So with Phoenix, again, she can also pretty easily land that behind you to where it does damage. She can pretty easily land it, right? If Phoenix knows what she's doing, your parry won't really do much. You can land it behind you. But as you see my mod, what she just did right there is she actually reacted. So if you're diving a Phoenix and you see the animation of that right behind you, you can turn and block it. And in the 1v1, this will save your life. If you see a Phoenix and she pops it behind you, you can turn in the right time and parry it. You can do that. So as for Luna, now if you're diving a Luna, you need to always be focused on when she's gonna freeze. If the whole team turns to peel and you're gonna get out anyways, then don't worry about the freeze, just parry and get out. But if you're dueling in a 1v1 with the Luna and the team's not peeling, or for whatever reason you have full uptime on the Luna, lock in and focus on when that freeze is coming out, because you can literally reflect the freeze back at the Luna, and that will save your dive. Because if she lands the freeze on you, she can just run away, and she'll probably survive the dive, right? And maybe even someone will come headshot you if you're low. One little thing that's, I guess, good to note is if she's clapping, you can't reflect the damage. You can still not take the damage, but you can't deflect it. But with her regular left click, yeah, you can deflect the damage. BP's a little tricky. BP is very tricky because if you go in a duel against a BP, your parry does almost nothing. Literally almost nothing. Number one, he can dash through you. Your parry does not block his dash. Number two, it's very easy for him to land the spear. I'm standing right here from the front, and I land the spear. And it still resets it. No, I have the ability cooldowns off. Let me show you one more time. But it also still resets it. So, spear right there, followed by this, and bam, it resets it. So just know if you're facing a BP, you're not really, despite being a dive counter, you're not really a counter for BP. You are in the sense that you could catch him off guard, right? If you catch him off guard, in the same way as Iron Fist. I know I tell all the people in my guides for Iron Fist, the best way you beat a BP is you use your wall running, you stay up high, and you catch them as they're looking for their entry, right? So you catch them off guard. Same thing with Daredevil, except not using your wall running, but your wall running plus your vision. So you see the BP, you do your combo, and you get him low before he even knows you're there, right? If you see a BP and you're going into a direct 1v1, just know a good BP will very easily land that, and he will just combo you to hell, and there's not much you can do about it. So one important thing to note with Luna is if you land the freeze on her, hold on, let me just get rid of some of her health right there. All right, freeze me. So if you land the freeze on the Luna, you will get overhealth, but she will also get her healing from her passive. And the same thing will happen if you were to redirect on someone else. So if you actually have really good reaction time and you land the freeze on a different target in the fight, you will still get the overhealth, and Luna will still get her passive healing. So I recommend, if you're going to reflect a freeze, if it's another healer you're diving, it still will be kind of worth it to deflect it on another healer. Because again, you will get... Because, like, if whether you deflect it on the Luna or the different healer, she's going to get the healing as well, but you will get the overhealth, and you have to deflect it anyways for your dive. So, if you're able to actually deflect it onto a different healer, which will be kind of crazy in terms of reaction time, then you would basically, they would not be able to peel anymore, and you get free damage on the Luna. So, it's something that's very important to take into account. So, next, we're going to look at probably one of the hardest counters to Daredevil, and it's Emma, purely because you cannot dodge her grab. It goes through your parry, and then you're literally screwed, right? Now, Iron Fist could parry. Iron Fist could triple jump. He could flurry punch away. He's all these kinds of things. But if Emma sees you on their backline and Emma goes for you, she will 100% land her combo on you, and you're dead, right? Emma's grab is extremely lethal. Like the Bucky shift, it completely goes through your block, so you need to be aware of that. Emma really does crap on a Daredevil. Now, if the backline's far, she does have to go all the way over there, and she's far. She has to walk all the way over to you. That's the only downside. If she's on the front line, unlike a Bucky who's maybe right there, if she's on the front line, she has to walk all the way back to you. So again, being aware of where the Emma is going to be very important. Next, we're going to look at Angela. Angela's also extremely important because if you see an Angela coming for you, you cannot parry the grab. You can parry the follow-up attack, but you cannot parry the grab. So if she does, if you're on the back line and you see an Angela flying towards you, and again, and you go for your parry, just know it will not save you. You got to use your grapple and get out of the way before she jabs you because you're going to get screwed. You're going to waste your parry over nothing. Something else that is extremely interesting, and there's many creative ways you can use this, is if you dive a rocket, right, and you jump directly at his face and you just immediately parry, you will deflect his healing, and the orbs, see, now they're red orbs. They will become your own orbs and heal you as you're in the backline. So if you're diving a rocket, and the rocket's getting healing, and you're getting low, and you're losing health, you could deflect and parry directly in front of the rocket, and you will actually get healed. Now, with other healers, it deflects the healing, but it doesn't heal you, right? Like, if you deflect the cloak bubble, for example, it'll become your own bubble, but it's pretty niche how you're going to use that. Like, if you're directly in her face, and you're parrying directly on her, maybe she already used the bubble, maybe she walks back and does it. Its viability is questionable, but against a rocket, it's pretty easy because he wants to heal his teammates. If you're in his face, he just can't heal for that second and a half or whatever, and it becomes your healing, and it'll literally heal you as you're diving, which is very, very, very important. So lastly, there's two last things I want to cover, and this one is extremely, extremely important, and I think you probably already know this if you play a lot of Daredevil, but it's extremely important to know is that you cannot deflect a Jeff ult. Unlike an Iron Fist parry where you can, there's really nothing you can do against a Jeff ult. The only thing you can do is when you hear the Jeff ult, because like your grapple, if you're in the center, you cannot grapple out in time, especially because like the latency and all that, right? If the circle's here and you click grapple right now, you will not make it out in time. You just won't, right? And so it's very important when you hear Jeff ult, you start to position yourself preparing for it. Every time I hear Jeff ult, I immediately go to a wall or go to some spot where I'm away from my team where I can avoid the Jeff ult because you really have no way of getting out. You have no CC immunity and your grapple's too slow. Same thing with an Iron Fist kick. You cannot kick out in time unless you're on the edge already. If you're in the center, you will not grapple out in time, and you also cannot parry. Very important to be aware of that. One little extra thing I want to mention is if you're playing Iron Fist and the Daredevil's low and he's parrying, you can get behind him cleverly. It's not super easy, but you can aim it like that and get behind him and land it. So let's say you're in a 1v1 against a Daredevil, right? And you got him low and he parries. You can, see right there, I missed it. It's not easy to do, but you can get behind him like that if you aim it correctly and actually kill the Daredevil. So if you're facing an Iron Fist and the Iron Fist gets you low, just be aware, as you're doing your parry in that split second, he could go behind you like that. He could just surprise you like that. And I'm sure there's many more unique ways that people could get around the parry and all these different ways they could counter you. But again, this hero's still new, so we're still discovering all these different kinds of things. I guess one more thing I can mention as well is the Earthbound from the Thing. Your parry will stop the Earthbound, but only for the duration that your parry's active. The moment your parry is over, it's over. You can't grapple out. You also can't wall run. I discovered this in a game, and actually it was fatal. It led to my death. I got earthbounded, and I tried to wall run up the wall next to me. You actually can't wall run when you're earthbound. So you're literally stuck. Earthbound is very fatal for a Daredevil, because you can't get out till it's over. But yeah, guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any other tips or new ways that you can be countered on Daredevil that I haven't covered or I just haven't thought of, let me know in the comments down below, because we are still learning and thoroughly trying to dissect Daredevil. It takes time. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you to all my supporters on Twitch and YouTube. Check out the Discord down below if you want to join the community and all that. And as always, guys, I hope you take care.